Opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your
Open your heart right here on VCMG, on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We are welcoming your questions, and we're talking to Spirit tonight. We'd love to hear from you. If you're joining us on Facebook, if you're joining us on YouTube, be sure to put your questions in the feed, because we're going to answer those questions, and we're going to tune in and tap in and see what's your vibe for 2024. And what is a vibe anyhow? How do we create a vibe in our life? And what is that frequency that we need to create in order to accomplish things? You know, early when we were young, in those early days, we were taught about our vibe, but they didn't really explain that our mood dictated how our day would go. Remember when maybe a grandparent or a parent would say, don't be so mopey, don't whine, don't have a sad face, you got to put on a happy face. They went through all of this for us. And they would try to encourage us because they wanted us not to be sad and mopey, because they had to coexist with us. But nobody ever sat down and said, when you focus on being sad, when you focus on what's not working right, when you focus on how you didn't get your way, guess what? You're going to create that. Well, we as adults have come to realize that that which we focus our attention upon becomes that which we create. And we all have that ability. But when you're younger, you don't really know that. You don't really understand that frequency of you moping or throwing a temper tantrum creates this vibration that really brings down the day. And of course annoys the adults around us and doesn't really have the effect that we want. We as children think if we throw a temper tantrum, we're going to get our way. And sometimes, depending on the parent and where you are, they may give in, but they give in begrudgingly, right? And we don't want things in our world to come to us begrudgingly. We want things to come to us because we've attracted them. We want them to come because they are lining up with us. We want them to arrive before us so that we can cultivate the plan and enjoy the benefits of what we've attracted. So what is your vibe for 2024? What are you carrying with you from the years gone by that are maybe not the great vibes that we want to bring into the new year? Are you carrying on your back a story of 2020 or perhaps some difficulty in a relationship? Often when I sit with people and we talk about what Spirit sees, and Spirit sees where you've been, and sometimes it's kind of interesting where you've all been. Spirit will take me back to a time in your life. It may be 2020, it may be 2015, it may be 2008. Depends where Spirit takes me. And they'll say, right here, right there was a shift in their world. Something disrupted them, and they kind of adapted this negative pattern. Life kind of threw them a curveball, and everything turned sour. And it was like sourpuss day every day. And they couldn't snap out of that frequency. And it took them this long to recover. And Spirit will often tell me, it took you, and I get to share with the person, it took you from here to here to pull yourself out of it. So how do we pull ourselves out of that snafu? How do we pull ourselves out of the difficulties of this energy of disappointment, right? We've all been disappointed. Sometimes we've invested time and energy in a relationship and stayed too long. And then we leave finally, or the relationship blows up and we have to go, it ends. But then what do we carry into the next relationship? What's the vibe? What's our thought process in relationships? We bring that negative energy that relationships don't work for us, or that we can't seem to find the right partner. We don't know who the right partner is, and we bring this difficulty of relationship into the energy, and yet we say, I'm looking for a partner. I want a relationship. I'm really feeling the vibe of wanting a relationship, but your belief systems, your frequency underneath all of what you say is the opposite of what you're saying you want to create. So what is your vibe for 2024? Are you holding a frequency and a vibration of things that haven't gone right for you in the past? Are you in this energy of disappointment? Did something not work out for you? Are you in a financial struggle and life is not picking up for you? Do you have a new job that you want to get, but it's not happening fast enough? We aren't happy in our current job and we want to get a new job and we're not getting called for an interview. We've sent our resume to thousands of people and nobody's answering. We're just a piece of paper in the frequency of the internet and we don't know who's going to get us. You see, all of us have had that moment where we've had an expectation, we've had an intention, and then crickets. We get crickets. Nothing happens. And how do you process that? How do you process when you set the intention and you try to have the right vibe and you still get crickets, no results? It's reminding yourself that you have a power inside of you that is greater than the feeling of disappointment. And that power is the alignment with the divine. That power is an alignment with a frequency that has the power to co-create with you. And that energy comes from a power that was birthed inside of you from the minute you came onto this earth. And that's a frequency that they didn't talk about when you were growing up. They taught you how to play with each other and they taught you how to interact, and we learned how to read and to write. But nobody said, hey, you're a vibrational being and focus your intention and attention. And when things don't go your way, that means we need to be more allowing and open to how it unfolds and not have a narrow expectation. We want an open expectation. And we need to be aware that connections can come by our attitude. And it's a matter of things lining up. And if we want the perfect job, the right job, the job that has our name on it, the job that's going to give us that extra abundance, the job that's going to match our criteria of our work-life balance, we have to learn that it can take time. Time is an illusion to the universe. What the universe is doing is aligning to the vibration that you're putting out. And if things don't seem to come quickly enough, then you've got to step forward and up your vibration. How do you do that, you may ask? How do I up my vibration? How do I intensify the frequency? First of all, do not become so fixated on the result and what you want to get out of the experience. Because if you focus on the outcome of the experience to such a degree that it has to come, it's not coming quickly enough, you literally push it away and you make it not happen. When you focus on the energy of you are worthy of this, and it is something that you know that the divine has for you, and you have a sense and a feeling of how good it's going to feel when this arrives, and how it's going to feel to have that new job or that new partner, and what playful thoughts you can have with it, without being attached to a rigid outcome or a need or a necessity. Because when we go from need and necessity, I need this to work for me. I need to have this new job. I need to have a partner. We are coming from an energy that, if I drill you down, is a root of desperation. It is a root of insecurity. It is a root of fear. It is the root of dissatisfaction. None of which help create with the universe contentment, harmony, alignment, a high frequency, a joy. These are the things that create what we want. Not a disappointment when it doesn't happen. Not a temper tantrum like when we were little. Remember when we would throw our temper tantrum, what did that get us? Time out. It got us a disappointment from our family. Sometimes we got our way, but it was, as we said earlier, begrudgingly. So as adults, we essentially are still behaving as we did when we were children. We don't get what we want and we become frustrated, or we give up. It's not meant for me. I don't think it's going to happen for me. I don't think the angels are listening. I don't think God heard me. If I had $1 every time I heard those statements, I would be a millionaire. Because so many people think that the universe isn't listening, and it's not that they're not listening. All the frequency energy beings are listening. The universe has no other choice but to reverberate back to you exactly what you're talking about, exactly what you're asking for. But you create a wobble. I want this, and I'm going to be so happy when this comes, and oh my God, it's not coming yet. What's happening? And we get frustrated. You cut your energy. So the universe says, if we imagine the universe like little elves working to manufacture your desires alongside you, I could hear the universe and God and the angels go, pull it back. We've got another uncertain human here. Pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Cancel the order. And then, all right, attention, little miracle elves. They want it again. They have a slightly different version, but they're asking for it. So let's line it up. Let's line up the right people, the right stories, the right situations, the right happenings to make it occur for this human. And as long as they maintain their frequency, we'll be able to deliver seamlessly. There comes the wobble again. And we wreck our own vibe. Have you ever had a day where you woke up and unbeknownst to you, you said, wow, it's going to be a great day. You just kind of knew it. There was no rationale. You woke up, you felt good. Your energy felt light. Whether it's sunny or cloudy, you just felt good regardless of the weather. And there was a pep in your step. And it wasn't because someone gave you a compliment or something fabulous happened. You just woke up and you're like, I feel good. You were in the zone. You're in the zone of the universe. You're in the frequency. That's the universe telling you that's how you have to feel. That's how we have to reel in that frequency to match you and what you're vibrating out. So how do we wake up that way every day? Wouldn't that be fabulous if we could just wake up feeling that vibration? Well, then I ask you, what did you do before you went to sleep? What were your thoughts? What were you focusing on? Were you playing over in your mind all the things that didn't get completed, the list of undone tasks, the disappointments, the difficulties with others? What was on your mind? What were you doing? What environment were you in? How was your frequency? Did you set intentions? Did you do a gratitude prayer? Did you pray at all before you went to sleep? Or did you just go back to bed and say, oh, what a day, and feel disappointed by the outcome, and go to sleep kind of sulking and disappointed, and just be glad the day ended? How many times have you said, oh, I'm so glad this day is over? Whew, what a day. And yes, there will be days that will bring us challenges and frustration. And we can't control everything regardless of our vibe. But how we react in our vibration to things that are happening around us and sometimes to us that impact us and can be off-putting or disappointing, that determines how long it lasts. That determines what happens next. That creates more wobbles and imbalances in our lives. It's really important that you tune in and tap into what you're feeling and look back at some of the patterns of how you act and react to the happenings in your life and how you process when people are talking to you. Do you take things personally? Remember, things are happening around you. We make them happen to us. They just happen. And sometimes they impact our life. They impact something going on with us. But it's not like the universe is conspiring against you. And yes, there are other humans who may conspire against you, and they may betray you, and they may disappoint you, and they may not be the person you thought they were. But that's out of your control. But once you're in the vibration, the frequency, and you realize that they're not your cup of tea, how long you stick around is, well, most certainly up to you. And that determines your vibe. And then their vibration begins to vibrate within yours, and they bring you down. So you need to look at the crowd around you. Are they upbeat? Are they positive? Do they think great thoughts? And are they in alignment with the way you want to live your life? Are they someone who's positive? Are they someone who doesn't like to argue, who's peaceful, who's calm? Or are they agitated and all over the place? And do they create a riff in your frequency? We need to take a look at that. Now, you may say, well, some of them are your very own family members and you can't quite trade them in. I get that. But you can do them in little doses. You don't have to be in the energy when they are in that frequency. And you have to surround yourself in positive vibes. And when you speak positively to them, if they aren't liking your vibe and they want to shoot it down because they enjoy misery, and they say misery enjoys company, and you're not giving them the company, they're going to get frustrated, much like a toddler. They might even throw a temper tantrum because they think you're not listening to them, or that you're just dismissing them or shutting them down. But it's really not that. It's that if you want to have a positive vibe, you can't allow yourself to hook into somebody else's drama. We can have empathy, we can listen, but we can't look at the glass half full all the time. But we can have a vibration and an expectancy that we can maintain a half full glass. And it's possible, but it's up to our frequency. There's so many people who are looking at the world from that half empty perspective. And as humans, we have to struggle sometimes to keep that full glass mentality. But when you're doing that, you can't allow someone else who's going to be talking about the half empty and all the things that are going to go wrong and all the things that are wrong with the scenario that's unfolding that are a problem when you're trying to solve a problem. Someone complaining how something's a problem when the problem's trying to be solved doesn't help the problem. It only exacerbates the problem and makes it seem insurmountable, and thus creates a bad vibe. So who are you surrounding yourself with? And what is their attitude? And are they willing to shift and change their attitude when you share your positive vibes? If not, you can lead that horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. So what do you do? Again, little doses, pull back. And believe that there's a positive vibration for every positive vibration you put out. And when a few filter in that are less than perfect, you ask yourself, what else do I have to do to balance me? And how do I create a better outcome? There's such power around us. There's such great possibilities for all of us. It's just a matter of lining up with the frequency and trusting that we've got everything we need. And that in 2024, you've got the power, you got the vibe. And I truly encourage you this year, not as a New Year's resolution, not as a goal, just as a promise to oneself, that every day I choose to open my eyes and be in gratitude and think positive thoughts and say, today is my day. Because according to the universe, everyone, every day is your day. Every day is meant to be spectacular. Every day is this perfect, aligning, vibrational, action-packed day. It's us who create a discombobulated frequency. It's us who worry about the things that we can't control. Or we procrastinate and we don't let ourselves deal with something and we allow it to haunt us. Or we don't let go of things that don't serve us. So it's day 10 of 2024. What vibe do you want to project into this year? What vibe do you want to maintain? And where's your gratitude meter? Are we extremely grateful? We made it. We made it this far. So you think the same universe that supported us even through the craziest of times as a collective is going to disappoint you now? No. You've made it. Use all you've learned. Use the courageous acts of life that you've overcome. Use those courageous moments and use them to transform these new moments into a life that is what you've always dreamed of. Well, we're glad you're joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You're hearing us on the Oldies station. So glad to have you. We welcome your phone calls here at the station, and we welcome your questions at Facebook, on YouTube. And we welcome your visits to us at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. There you'll find me every week sitting with people one-on-one, guiding you and navigating life. And we've got some new things coming up for the 2024 season, and we'd love to share them with you. And we'd love to open up to new possibilities for all of you and create these positive vibes. Visit us at SarahSpiritual.com. Go to the website, learn about our upcoming classes and events and all our new products. We're welcoming you to our family. And for those of you on hold, we thank you for your calls. And if you're dialing us and you can't get through, you get a busy signal, please put me on speed dial. I sure do want to talk to you at 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then we're going to come right back and we're going to go to the phones, visit Facebook, visit YouTube, share the page on Facebook, share the love, share the light. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is...
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robes Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Remember the feeling you got the first time you saw the king of rock and roll?
Elvis Presley.
Well, relive the memories at Chris McDonald's Memories of Elvis Rockin' Birthday Bash. Saturday night, January 27th at the historic Sunrise Theater, Fort Pierce. Chris McDonald, with his full production band and dancers, will pay tribute to the life and music of the king of rock and roll. At the Sunrise Theater, Fort Pierce. Call the box office at 772-461-4775 or go to sunrisetheater.com.
Thank you very much. Join us for Moments of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Gold, silver, copper, precious metals, battery metals, green metals, stocks, and the potential for a 5 or 10 times does exist. Listen and learn. The Ellis Martin Report, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. here on South Florida's True Oldies.
And now another Community First message from Rhodes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
Do you love art, antiques, and jewelry? Check out the amazing Stewart Antique Vintage Art Show. This Vintage Art Show is this weekend, Saturday, January 13th, and Sunday, January 14th at the Martin County Fairgrounds. You will find antiques, gold, silver, paintings, collectibles, art, and so much more. The Stewart Antique Vintage Art Show is this weekend at the Martin County Fairgrounds, Saturday and Sunday, January 13th and the 14th. Come see some of the most incredible art, collectibles, beautiful paintings, and so much at the Stewart Antique Vintage Art Show. There's something for everyone. This Saturday and Sunday at the Martin County Fairgrounds in Stewart. Parking is free. See you there.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up.
Yes, indeed, the world, it's changed. And it's continuing to change. And this new year is asking you to move along. Move along to a new beginning. Create a new vibration for yourself. Don't become attached to the things of the past. Be open. Be ready for new adventures. This is the year that we can capitalize on such powerful energy as long as you know who you are and you're true to yourself and you're able to access the information within that is your soul's speaking truth. You've got to listen. There's always guidance in your mind. There's always guidance in your inner being. But we have to get ourselves to that place of peace, that place of awareness, contentment, that place of alignment with the divine. We welcome your phone calls here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're glad to have you joining us on 95.3, 96.9, 95.9, 106.9, 103.1 HD3, and 104.3. Glad to have you here. Hope that this year brings you all the good things that you want. But you are in charge of that. Don't let life happen to you. Be the director of your life. And if something happens that you're not expecting, then kind of go with the flow. The universe may just be moving you along to get you to a different place, a different experience. Maybe toughen you up so that when you get what you desire, when you finally arrive to that destination that makes you feel whole and complete and happy and joyful, harmonious, successful, all the vibrational feelings that we seek in our lifetime, when you finally get there, nothing can rattle you or disrupt you from the enjoyment of it or pull the rug out from under you, as perhaps it may have happened before. So we're welcoming your calls at 866-972-7247, and we most certainly welcome your comments and your questions on Facebook and YouTube. I've got to go visit my friends on the phone first, and we're going to go to Tammy, and Tammy is in South Carolina. Tammy, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Sarah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tammy. Good to have you join us here tonight. And what is your vibe for 2024? What's the intention, the frequency, the vibration that you're transmitting out into the universe?
I've worked really hard to transmit positive things and also to show much more gratitude. Thus far, I have not seen a lot of results that change exactly the way that life goes. I mean, I don't think I got to that point where the rug didn't get pulled out from under me.
Well, we want to create that positive vibe. So let's set an intention for you, shall we? This year,
Okay.
You would love to, what would you love to have happen for yourself this year?
I would love to find friendship with somebody, or even that would have the potential to be more, but it doesn't even have to be more. It's just a friendship, to have somebody to do things with, instead of being trapped in my home all the time.
Mm-hmm. So that sounds like companionship, freedom, adventures, right? We want to be on this path of new experiences. So as we look at that energy, we have to look at what's the feeling underneath that. How does Tammy feel like that's not possible to change?
I do think it's possible to change. I just haven't yet had the correct people enter my pathways, or say the interactions by me. Maybe I stopped it. I don't know. At the time, I try not to be. I try to be very positive. I've had a lot of people give me a lot of negative feedback, especially when trying to build relationships. And of course that gets my self-esteem down, but then I try to bounce right back, and I go, I go places, I feel good, I fix myself up, I think I look good about myself, and I get the feedback, oh, you look so beautiful, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if that was even real, because I don't seem to be anybody that they're really interested in.
Right. So let's create a mantra for you for 2024 to create this, right? So when you wake up in the morning, and remember we're recording this on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can go back and take a look at the video and find this moment in time. And you might want to note the time on your clock, on your phone, so that you know what time we're going to have this aspect of the conversation. And this is what we say when we awaken. I am the woman who is beautiful. I attract people who enjoy my company. I am congenial. I am aware and connected to others. I'm a great companion. I'm a lot of fun. And I meet people who enjoy new experiences, and they too are a lot of fun. I am intellectually connected to people because I bring a lot to the table. I have a lot to offer. I have my own ways that are unique to me, but they are fascinating because they make me who I am. And I don't need to be some cookie cutter person that someone expects me to be, because I am perfect the way I am. And in this moment of time, I am the magnet to attract the person that I love. I'm the magnet to attract the person that will be my companion, my playmate, my partner. I am the magnet that attracts divine love in my life, and I am free from the confines of this home. I'm free to be adventurous and playful. And this is happening in this moment, in the energy. Therefore, I know that all is in alignment. So we begin to put this out there in the universe, and we begin to develop the conversation, Tammy, with the universe. And then the universe in turn is going to begin to revisit the aspects that are in alignment with what you desire. And it's also going to put a light on the parts that are not in alignment. So then you're going to notice, when don't I feel beautiful, and who made me not feel beautiful enough, and what was my feeling around that, and when was the first time that I ever felt that, and who made me feel not good enough and not worthy. And so when that bubbles up inside of you from a past experience or a childhood experience, you then go to yourself and you say, I am worthy, and I deserve love, and I am enough. And we recalibrate ourselves to a frequency that is higher than what we have been conditioned to believe as to who we are. Because most of our belief into who we are does not come from what we say we are because we've accomplished things. It comes from who we were led to believe we were as a child. Oh, you were mischievous. Oh, you were troublesome. Oh, you were always so down and mopey. Oh, you weren't smart enough. You weren't good enough. You never did anything right. You didn't complete tasks. whatever was told to you, these are the things that chip away at our psyche and thus separate us from the wholeness and the divine aspects of us. Are we all perfect? Do we all have things that are out of alignment? We do. We are all perfect in God's way, but we all have reasons to be here on earth that we're going to learn. And you're learning to love yourself so you can draw forth to you a partner that is going to love you. Does that make sense to you, Tammy?
It does make sense. A lot of my energy really is that, like you said, my family member who is I'm really worried about, and
yes.
I can't turn him away because I'm scared of what he'll do if I'll turn him away when he comes to me in those
Right.
situations. And
Correct.
so I would rather give of myself than to take away from him at this point in time. And I know that might be hindering me, but I just couldn't live with the fact that I don't know if you remember, but my father committed suicide.
Yes.
If he did that after talking to me because I didn't say the right thing to him.
Yes, of course. And you're being empathic and you're having empathy for that person, and you want to be that good person to show up for them. And even though you know on an intellectual level that you're not responsible for anyone's actions, they alone are the cause and the result of who they are and where they are in their journey of life. But you don't want to be the contributing factor. And we, of course, understand that. But know that the universe knows that you have a soul contract with this person and that you are coming from a place of love. You're coming from your heart. And because you're coming from a place of love and you're coming from your heart, the universe is going to support you and bring back that value of love that you're giving to another to help make sure they're all right. The universe is going to bring you a loving partner that is going to do the same for you and more, just like you're doing for someone. So be open and receptive to that. Tammy, what is your burning question for me? I know we went off on your vibration, but I want you to have the right vibe, to have everything that you desire in 2024, which is the reason why we're doing the show tonight. We want everyone to have their vibe and we want to align you. But what is your question for me? Apparently the puppy has a question.
What kind of time frame are we looking at that I may meet a person that's actually clicks with me enough that we can be friends, and possibly, if that goes well, lead it into more than that?
Well, here's the great thing. And I'm hearing the song in my head, someday he'll come along, the man I love. Yes, and that's an energy of someone that is going to be that life partner. And when I look to the heavens and I look into the energy, they make me aware that this is a year of great expansive connection for you, great emotional connection. It is a year of a deeper consciousness, which will attune you to the right partner. And when I move you through this year, and I've got to move you through the beginning of the year, because I feel like there's still too many balls in the air. There's still too much going on around you. But when I lift you into the spring, into the early summer months, this is when energy seems to begin to line up that way. And I feel like there's a reason that you can get out of the house and do some more things. And I want you to look for that reason, be it a group, be it a gathering. It'll come, but I want you to kind of look at opportunities to participate in things that introduce you to new, unexpected people. And that's going to be a great help in creating this relationship.
Okay.
All right, Tammy.
Yeah, I actually met somebody last weekend that seemed like it was on that track, and then they turned around and told me, I'm sorry, let me be honest, I've already been dating somebody, and I don't want to be that guy that's the bad guy that's going between two women, which I appreciate that. But that kind of put a damper in the way I feel.
Well, yes, but they weren't available. So in what ways does Tammy want to make herself more available? Because we attracted someone who wasn't physically or emotionally able to be available. And again, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying that. I want you to keep going inside and going, great, Tammy. We attracted someone who showed interest. They shouldn't even have been expressing interest because they're already committed. So that is on them, and that's their behavior, which is not in alignment with what I would want from a partner. So I'm grateful that they showed their hand early and I didn't get disappointed in the experience. But where am I not emotionally available? Where am I not able to move forward, right? Because where am I restricted? So you said something really key earlier. You want to get out of the house. You don't want to feel like a prisoner in your house. So let's reword that. Let's say I'm grateful for my home and I love the energy of my home and I love exploring new things out of my home and returning to the safe comfort of my sanctuary. Do you hear how that creates a better vibration? Then I feel like a prisoner in my house. And I know you were only using those words so that I would understand how you feel. But if that's how you choose to say how you feel to me, then somewhere inside that is how you feel. So we keep adjusting our feelings till they match what we want. I'm really glad he told you.
Yeah, I live in a very small town where everybody knows everybody, and there's just not many people that are my age that are available to even have friendships because they're all committed or married.
I know, honey, but let me tell you, there are honey, there are people in other towns that can come to your town. They do not have to be from your town. So we got this whole thing called the internet that will help you meet people from all over. So I want you open.
All right.
All right?
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much for your call. We wish you a very happy new year. And get ready for love because we're bringing it in. We got the hook out, and there's going to be a fish any day now. So keep us posted, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. I've got to look over here on my phone board, and I've got to go to Carrie. And Carrie is in Chicago. Carrie, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you, Sarah?
I am well. Good to connect with you in this year. So what vibration do you want to create in 2024? What are we looking to create?
My vibration right now, I feel like is I'm dishing out love and gratitude and just being more, trying to be more ambitious with just life and finances and just giving love to the people that want to receive it and is willing to reciprocate.
So we're in a positive vibe, yes?
Yes.
And in this energy of gratitude, what do you wish to draw forth to yourself this year, Carrie?
I wish to draw forth peace, abundance, love, happiness, healing, for sure.
So when we're in this energy, I want you to know that what I see this year is going to represent is an alignment and a balancing of things that have been out of balance. And they kind of spin me back. And they take me to the tail end of 2019 and into 2020. We've gone through some changes since then. Is this true?
Yeah.
And 2019 into 2020, besides the fact that the whole world was upside down in 2020, you were going through some difficulties yourself as well. Is this also true?
Yes, that's true.
And when I move you in... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you were pretty what?
No, I was pretty much in a depressed kind of state of mind around that time.
Yeah.
I was going through a lot of change. Yeah.
And when we move you into this energy, we begin to find a better balance in 2024. And there's a new renewed confidence because you've had a lot of doubt about yourself and you haven't been feeling confidence about things. Is that also true?
That's correct.
Yes. And we've been kind of juggling. The finances haven't been where we wanted them to be. So we are anxiously awaiting this sense of completion and attraction of more money. Is that true?
Correct. Yes.
And I do feel new work, job opportunity coming for you. Are we looking to create a new job, work opportunity?
Yeah, sort of, kind of. I've been on this kind of spiritual. I've been on the spiritual journey as well.
Right.
But sometimes I doubt my gifts, and that caused stagnation because I keep asking God for a sign. Am I supposed to go this route? Am I supposed to go down this road? And I think I get frightened. And
you get excited, and then you get doubtful.
Yeah.
And then guess what?
Yes.
You you unplug yourself from the universe. So we're exploring our gifts. And when we explore our gifts, we know that there's a learning curve in doing that. And that we want to be of service to others. And this year is going to bring that balance and that order. And I do see new work. I do see a new role, a new work life for you. So step into your destiny. I heard God say in my head, we already gave her the sign. We gave her the seed that gave her the desire to want to explore your gifts. What more of a sign do you need?
Oh, wow.
Okay. And it was like with a chuckle, right? So the angels, the guides, God, they're like, come on, we gave you that desire in your heart. And all you need to do is step through the opening and give it a whirl, give it a try. Be open to that possibility. And God is going to back you. The universe is going to back you. And don't be a perfectionist. You don't have to be perfect. You're just going to relay the feeling and the energy that you receive as guidance to be a gift to others. And they can either accept the gift or it doesn't resonate with them. You're not responsible for their action and reaction. You can only just share what you feel. And that's how the universe is going to open things up. And then 2025 is really going to give you a really strong connection of creativity. So things are only going to continue to build and get better and better. So I want you to be open, and I want you to just trust the journey and know that the universe does have your back, and your gratitude is going to be the key that unlocks many doors of new opportunities for you.
I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional a little bit because I've been feeling that a lot, and I don't know, maybe it's because of the people that's around me, and I'm afraid of what people might think of me or what they might say of me.
Well, don't give a flying noodle what they think. You're not doing it for them. All right? And when we're around people who don't believe in what we choose to do, we're kind of like the Jack in the Box. And if you've ever remembered the Jack in the Box from growing up, you turn the little knob and and then the Jack in the Box pops up. And then what's the first thing that everybody does? What's the reaction when the Jack in the Box pops up? They look at it, they laugh, and then they slam it back down. So to your friends and family that only know you in the box that they've put you in, the box that we are all conditioned in, every time you try to pop out of the box and be someone other than who you are, they slam it back down. So take your box and go somewhere else where they don't know who you are.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
All right. When I picked the path that I was doing here in South Florida, when I decided I was going to open a center and this is what I'm going to do, I didn't tell anybody. I was just like, I'm going to just do this. It was in my heart. It was in my being. I didn't ask anyone's opinion. I didn't really ask for permission from anyone. I just went ahead and I did it. And I had far less experience than probably you do, literally. I had a fabulous mentor, but I didn't realize I was being mentored. So I just showed up. And by showing up, God gave me everything I needed to share the gift that God gave me so that I could be effective for others. So trust this process, honey. We know it's going to be a good year for you, Carrie. We are glad and appreciative of you calling into the show and listening to the show. And we send you positive vibes as you ease on your spiritual path to be the being that you've come to be. All right?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go back to our phone lines. We're going to pop in and say hi to our friends on Facebook and YouTube and see what questions and comments we've got going on there. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Because you know that you know me, I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad you're joining us here. And if you're new to our listening audience, this is the show where every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m., we answer questions, life's questions. What's going on with you? And where can we assist you? Where do we require guidance? How can we help you navigate the path of life? And what does Spirit have to share with you? I tune in and I tap in every Wednesday. We've got some things coming up at the Expedito Center, so we want to let you know what's coming up so you don't miss a thing. If you're local to us in South Florida, then listen up. We've got some fabulous things happening, and one of them is a class coming on January 25th. It happens to be on a full moon. And those of you who are not local, and you can't join us in the center, this class is going to be available online, live at the center, but also broadcasted live for all of you who are not local to us. And it's how to navigate 2024. What's coming next, Sarah Spiritual? Well, Spirit's going to clue us in as to what's going to happen, how you can navigate life, how you can create the life that you desire, and let your soul